Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think would win in a fight between Dr. Manhattan and Spawn? Dr. Manhattan from DC Comics has godlike abilities including manipulation of matter at the molecular level, near omnipotence, teleportation, and the ability to see the past, present, and future at the same time. He is virtually indestructible and can create and destroy life. Spawn, from Image Comics, possesses many abilities including superhuman strength, agility, and durability, as well as the ability to control hellfire and summon chains. His necroplasmic energy allows him to regenerate and become more powerful in the dark. He also has access to various magical abilities and can manipulate reality to some extent. Before we dive into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. In May 1959, Dr. Jonathan Joan Osterman, a Princeton graduate, was hired to work at Gila Flats in the field of atomic physics research, replacing the late Hank Meadows. There he met Janie Slater. In July, the two traveled to New Jersey, where John met up with old friends from college and Janie, her mother. While waiting, the two spent time at an amusement park. During a break, Janie's watch strap broke, and just before John could pick it up, a large man accidentally stepped on it. Before John studied astrophysics, he was an amateur watch repairman like his father. He decided to fix her watch. In August, John finished repairing the watch but left it in his jacket pocket. He quickly went to retrieve the jacket from the lab where he left it in the intrinsic field subtractor, a room specifically used to experiment with removing intrinsic fields from objects. As he entered the chamber, the door closed and locked behind him, trapping him inside while another round of experiments was performed. The other scientists looked at John with fear and grief, especially since they could do nothing as the time lock on the chamber had been set. Within moments of activation, the chamber had separated John from his intrinsic field, seemingly leaving nothing in its place. Dr. Jonathan Osterman was a nuclear physicist working to control and contain atomic energy. One fateful day, he forgot the jacket he had left inside the intrinsic field chamber, a chamber where objects are separated from their intrinsic fields. As he entered the chamber, the door slammed shut behind him. Before he knew it, Dr. Osterman had been vaporized into pure energy. Since his cursed transformation, an immensely powerful being who can observe space-time on a quantum level. For a being like Dr. Manhattan, the concepts of time, space, and matter no longer have any conventional meaning. Not only does he see his entire timeline, spanning from the past to the future all at once, but despite his ability to experience every moment of his life at once, he can still feel wonder and excitement when faced with something that cannot be fully explained. He has the power to manipulate matter at the molecular and atomic level, not simply creating or destroying things, but also restructuring their nature, even changing how they obey the laws of physics that are considered immutable. He can warp reality with his mind, making actions such as moving objects, recreating the environment, or even splitting and reassembling himself as easy as a person closing his eyes to sleep. His teleportation is not limited by three-dimensional space. He can transport himself or others millions of miles in the blink of an eye without any medium. Despite living in a state of omnipotent cosmic consciousness, he can only focus on a small portion of the timeline at a time. Much like how the human brain chooses to ignore the regular heartbeats of each day in order to focus on more important information, Dr. Manhattan is not simply a powerful being. He has stated that only Superman has the power to destroy him. He has completely erased a hot spot in the timeline and changed an entire decade of history as if he were redrawing a stroke on water. The cosmic order has been altered or completely lost without anyone but himself being aware of the change. His abilities far surpass those of any other being, be they powerful heroes, skilled magicians, or individuals with pure cosmic energy. Not only could he defeat them with ease, but he also took it for granted, because to him all energy, magic, and power were just different manifestations of the same essence that he understood down to the smallest particle. None of it really threatened him. Even when compared to cosmic entities of godlike proportions such as Perpetua, who can reshape the multiverse, Dr. Manhattan's power is overwhelming. He needs no argument, no fanfare. His presence is almost omnipresent in space and time. However, metaphysical threats, especially phenomena or entities beyond the physical, may be the only challenge. But so far, no force of that nature has been able to overcome him or cause a truly serious impact. The uncertainty remains, but so far Dr. Manhattan is an absolute threat, where all laws are bent under the cold blue light of his very being. Dr. Manhattan has insane power, can create, reshape reality. He is immortal and can survive extinction by building himself from nothing. If he wills someone out of time, they will no longer exist. He can see through time and change the consequences. He once claimed to be the most powerful being in the known universe. In his eyes, nothing is impossible. All possibilities exist simultaneously, intertwined like countless rivers flowing from the same source, and he has the power to choose which flow will continue. When faced with events that disrupt the timeline, he does not clumsily attempt to fix each fragment. Instead, he thoroughly eliminates each decision that replaces each branch of fate by erasing the realities that have been formed from them. Each erased timeline is like a layer of dust being brushed off a table, gently and decisively, leaving no trace. In one remarkable case, he used only a tiny fraction of his own energy to act as a catalyst for the evolution of an alien species. He is also the biggest force behind the formation of the New 52 timeline. Every sudden change in the history, identity, and nature of superheroes does not come from an external crisis, but from his silent hand. Many evidences also indicate that he may be the root cause leading to Rebirth, the moment of rebirth of hope and memory for the DC Universe. With an entity that can sense and manipulate all of time like notes in an endless symphony, there is a very clear implication that Mr. Mxyzptlk, an entity from the fifth dimension known for his almost limitless power and the ability to recreate reality at will, is afraid of him. The fifth dimension can also be bent in the presence of Dr. Manhattan. In a fierce confrontation, he endured a barrage of attacks from at least 7 different superheroes, including Shazam with his ancient magic lightning, Supergirl with the power of a red sun, Stargirl with her cosmic weapon, 3 Green Lanterns working together to create an energy storm, and Captain Atom, a living nuclear-powered being. They all attacked with all their might, combining physical, energy, and magical power in the hopes of stopping him. Yet he stood firm. The consequences were not entirely insignificant, however. After the battle, he was forced to restructure his own body. It was not a normal injury, but a reshaping of a structure that existed based on the concept of connecting energy. It was this energy that was later channeled to power the Justice League in their final confrontation with Perpetua, the all-powerful creator who had reached her full previously sealed power. The aftershocks from the final attack carried the power of connecting energy so intense that it was enough to burn out the sun. In fact, Superman's power was, quite literally, nothing compared to Manhattan's limitless energy. He literally reset the entire DC metaverse as an experiment. Manhattan's case is well known. Despite being extremely powerful, his nature meant that he knew his every move. His fate is predetermined. He can't choose to do anything. In terms of power, he is almost godlike. I really hope you subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will get to see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Spawn starts out as a muscular body weighing about 450 pounds, basically a veteran and assassin named Al Simmons, who is skilled in about 15 forms of martial arts and has a high level of firearms. As a Hell Spawn, he is gifted with a body based on necroplasm. Necroplasm enhances his strength, speed, and durability, and makes the only way to kill him is to completely decapitate him. Additionally, his necroplasm allows him to resurrect the dead, fire blasts of necroplasmic energy, teleport, breathe fire, transform, manipulate the elements, shapeshift, fly, talk to animals, read minds, become invisible, and absorb the evil sins and negative energies of others to enhance his strength and cure diseases. Then, emanating from his necroplasm is the symbiotic suit he wears, which allows him to shape it into anything he desires, usually chains, blades, axes, death cloaks, spikes, and spread across his weapons and vehicles. This suit requires Spawn's necroplasm to function. In the comics, the amount of necroplasm he has is stylized as a counter. However, he can recharge himself with Sin. Spawn's body has a very unique physical structure, being both heavy and sturdy. His entire body is made up of a substance called necrosis, a supernatural form of matter that is both alive and dead. It is this strange and unique structure that grants Spawn superior physical strength and near indestructible. And although he still has all the internal organs of a normal human, the interesting thing is that when Spawn is seriously injured or even dismembered, these organs automatically reappear during the body's regeneration process. This happens smoothly as if they had never disappeared. This is not only a manifestation of necrosis magic, but also a sign that Spawn still has a part of his human ego. Despite his complete physical and spiritual transformation, he seems unable to completely abandon his human roots in his mind. This makes Spawn's image much more complex and haunting than a typical supernatural entity. He is not simply a warrior of hell. Spawn's costume is not just a layer of armor, but a symbiotic living entity that is completely attached to him. From the dark cape that flutters with every movement, to the cold chains that are always ready to wrap around the enemy, the sharp spikes that sprout from the shoulders and sleeves, to the skulls that are symbols of death, all are inseparable parts of the living entity attached to Spawn. Even when he loses consciousness, this costume continues to instinctively and fiercely protect its owner. Violator, one of Spawn's sworn enemies, once said that this suit actually eats soul. The suit is made from a special organic substance that grows within Spawn's body, a source of matter that can continuously nourish and regenerate. This substance is the living fuel for the armor and is also what the suit absorbs to maintain its own being. Spawn can summon and draw energy from the suit at any time, using it to enhance his strength, enhance his magic, or heal wounds without directly affecting his own core life energy source. It does not stop there. It can sense and digest negative forms of energy, especially manifestations of evil, from the hatred and greed in the human mind to the predatory and rotting instincts of specific animals. Creatures such as bats, wolves, or carrion insects all become food sources for the suit. This ability not only makes Spawn stronger over time, but also turns his costume into an entity that hunts and digests evil as an essential part of existence. Spawn possesses a powerful source of magical power, far beyond the limits of ordinary entities in the supernatural world. His power source is clearly displayed through a magic counter with an index of 9999. Every time Spawn uses magic, even just a small spell, the counter will gradually decrease, reflecting the gradual depletion of the energy source. Therefore, in many fierce battles, he often chooses to rely on the natural power of the symbiotic costume instead of spending precious magic power. However, the true limit of Spawn's magic is not in the energy, but in his own imagination. That power source can be bent to any will or imagination. Though careful to avoid using magic indiscriminately, Spawn has demonstrated his ability to use his magical powers in a variety of situations: resurrecting the dead, unleashing deadly energy with devastating force, teleporting to any location, transforming his body at will, and even healing illness and serious injury. He also possesses a strange and haunting ability to empathize. Spawn can sense suffering, injustice, and death occurring around him. Even from a distance or in a state of unconsciousness, he knows when someone is being murdered, tortured, or driven to despair. That sense is like an invisible wave that connects him to the pain of humanity, making him the embodiment of the wrath that is unleashed upon those who commit evil. This ability not only allows Spawn to react promptly to threats, but also makes him deeply attached to the suffering of the world he once abandoned, but now protects in the shadows. Stein is the embodiment of darkness. The way he moves silently through shadowy alleys, foggy rooftops, or dark night skies. He does not walk, but glides, sometimes hovering like a shapeless ghost. Whenever he appears, people only catch a glimpse of a red streak in the corner of their eyes. It is the living cloak that swirls around his body like a storm. He is the cold wind that passes by without anyone noticing, the eyes that glow in the night that no one knows how long they have been there. We shall note the corner of his eyes glow. In the night that no one knows how long they have been there, his presence is always vague. Only the feeling of unease and fear is clear. Spawn has absorbed all the other Hellspawn into his own body. With the help of a younger version of himself, an individual named Christopher, he can summon these Hellspawn at any time, using them as extensions of himself. At his peak, he can summon 6,000 souls from within himself at once, each soul carrying the skills, tactics, and memories of the centuries of bloodshed they have experienced. It is at this point that Spawn reaches the peak of his power, no longer a warrior or a spirit of vengeance, but a near omnipotent being. As the apocalypse approaches and all hope seems lost, Spawn is led by the Mother Goddess to the Garden of Eden. There he touches the supreme apple. He gave up his cloak, chains, and skulls that symbolized his vengeful past. In exchange for the ability to bend time and space to unimaginable levels, he banished both God and Satan from reality and rewinded time to the point before the apocalypse. With his absolute power, he made sure that the cosmic catastrophe never happened. After that victory, Spawn chose to let go of most of the power he had gained. He kept the 12 strongest individuals from his Hellspawn army and still maintained his symbiotic armor and all his physical abilities. Although he was no longer a god, he was still a lone army that carried the wrath of both heaven and hell. Spawn did not need a throne, he only needed darkness, and in that darkness, he was war. At a mysterious crossroads of the universe, reality is shaken when a quantum wormhole erupts from Dr. Manhattan's daring time experiments. The wormhole unleashes a wave of supernatural energy, swirling violently, disrupting the underworld and awakening forces hidden deep in the darkness. Spawn, the steadfast warrior who serves as the guardian between heaven and hell, is forced to investigate to unravel the cause of the chaos. With his keen senses, he follows the energy trail, entering a mysterious time corridor where every moment of the past, present, and future blends into Dr. Manhattan's infinite vision. Dr. Manhattan, with his cold demeanor and eyes that shine with ethereal light, sees Spawn as a threat that could disrupt the flow of time under his control. Through his keen observation, Spawn discovers that Manhattan has tampered with the time stream, erasing millions of souls who have not yet found rest. Determined to bring justice to the wronged souls, Spawn launches into a breathless pursuit. From the darkness, he emerges, his crimson cloak turning into sharp blades, tearing through space. With his chains of hell sparkling with ghostly light, Spawn attempts to bind Manhattan's soul, but Manhattan, with his nearly invulnerable being, dissolves into sparkling rays of light, then reassembles in the blink of an eye, defying Spawn's every effort. In the space of the time corridor, blue light from Manhattan shines, creating magical patterns on the invisible walls, as if the universe itself is breathing. Spawn, with eyes burning with determination, relentlessly advances, each step echoing with the power of indomitability. Dr. Manhattan unleashes his power, pulling Spawn into an alternate timeline where he has never transformed into a Hellspawn, the warrior of hell. The surrounding space shattered like a mirror, fragments of reality floating, reflecting countless versions of the past and future. Spawn, with a strong will, resisted this manipulation by summoning screaming souls from the underworld. They swirled around him, forming a wall of glowing energy, protecting his memories and core essence. Spawn's crimson cloak fluttered like a living flame, lighting up the dark space, affirming his indomitable existence against Manhattan's power. Spawn, with burning eyes, aroused intense human emotions, fierce beliefs, and deep rage, aiming to awaken the last bit of humanity in Dr. Manhattan. He rushed forward, each step echoing with primal power, his hands swinging the hellish chains that sparkled with ghostly light, trying to bind the opposite entity. But Manhattan, with a cold appearance and eyes that flashed blue light, distorted the flow of time. He splits himself into countless clones, each shining like a star, attacking Spawn from every dimension. These clones move as fast as light, creating blinding streaks of light, encircling Spawn in a web of chaotic space, with blue energy beams from Manhattan colliding with Spawn's crimson light, creating dazzling explosions of light. Spawn's power, however terrible, is still limited by the rules of magic and his universe. Meanwhile, Dr. Manhattan is above all those rules. He is the one who wrote the rules, therefore Dr. Manhattan will be the ultimate winner. He may not kill Spawn in the conventional way, but simply erase his existence from reality or turn him back into a normal Al Simmons, as if the deal with Malebolgia never existed. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.